You know, Justin Bieber had a post the other day on his Instagram talking about all the drugs that he did when he was younger and how much it f***ed him up. And now he's got a relationship with the Lord, and he's got, you know, he's married, and he's trying to be a normal person.
Yeah.
But he's struggling with the fact that he was insanely famous when he was a kid.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So.
You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're out.
He got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house. And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Well, apparently not. Something.
The moment Justin Bieber finally started opening up about the pressure, the fear, and the dark side of growing up in the music industry, the internet stopped looking at those old Diddy clips the same way. Suddenly, videos people once laughed at started feeling uncomfortable. The smiles looked forced. The jokes didn't sound funny anymore. And when Joe Rogan sat down and reacted to everything that's been resurfacing online, he didn't hold back for a second. He said what a lot of people were already thinking, but were too afraid to say out loud.
So many horrific accusations, though, involving young singers, like children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
Jay-Z,
everybody.
They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Because once you remove the celebrity status, once you stop looking at these people like untouchable icons, the entire situation starts to feel disturbing. A young teenager entering one of the most powerful industries in the world, surrounded by older men with money, influence, and control. Rogan said that's not a normal environment for any kid, no matter how famous they are. And now, after Justin's emotional confessions about feeling used, isolated, and mentally broken during parts of his career, people are connecting dots they ignored for years. The clips are back everywhere. Diddy talking about having custody of Justin for 48 hours, Justin sitting there laughing nervously, the awkward silence, the strange energy between them. Back then, most people treated it like entertainment.
I always say this about Justin Bieber. When people hear about him going insane, like, of course he's going insane. You have no idea what it would be like to be him and to be 17 years old. And girls literally trying to break into his house. They're coming down chimneys. They're flying in on parachutes. They're doing anything they can. They just want to be around him. You want him to be normal?
Oh, man, poor guy. Moved to New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but But I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
so nobody.
The you of then was on a path of self-destruction. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah, it would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive for sure.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we've become friends in a strange way, you know.
Like Rob and Big.
Yeah, it's like exactly.
I'm Big and you're Rob.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person. Besides his talent, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
But today, it feels completely different, and Joe Rogan made that very clear. Before the fame completely took over his life, Justin Bieber was just a regular kid from Canada uploading covers online. He wasn't born into Hollywood. He didn't grow up around celebrities. He was discovered at a young age and suddenly thrown into a world that moves fast, thinks fast, and doesn't always protect young people the way it should. At first, the story looked like a dream. A teenage boy with incredible talent becomes one of the biggest stars on the planet almost overnight. Millions of fans, endless money, private jets, sold-out tours, famous friends. To the outside world, it looked perfect, but behind the scenes, things were already becoming dangerous. Justin has admitted multiple times over the years that fame destroyed parts of his mental health. He talked openly about depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and feeling completely lost while growing up in front of cameras. He said there were moments when he felt like people only cared about him because he was profitable. That's the part Joe Rogan focused on the most. He explained how child stars often become products before they even become adults. Everyone around them benefits from their success. Managers make money, labels make money, media companies make money, and because there's so much money involved, boundaries start disappearing.
It's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously, it's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes, it's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend, and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion. Like if she's gonna be warning people, why did she never warn anyone about Diddy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so strange to watch play out. It seems like the Diddy thing was like an Epstein-type compromise deal where he had, whether he was doing it himself, conceivably, people want to think that he's attached to some intelligence agency or something like that. I think he's a gangster who made $1 billion and knew how to control people by compromising them. That's what I think. Whether or not he had help, I don't know. Whether or not he shared some of that information with people so they knew they had compromising stuff on people, I don't know. But clearly he was doing it for his own jollies too. There was something sick about it.
Yeah.
We had seen these videos of Justin Bieber being handed over to him at age 15. Great job. Great job. For his weekend with Diddy camp. I mean, we don't know, but it certainly looks like Justin Bieber is still suffering the fallout from whatever happened to him as he was coming up the ranks of the music world. It really doesn't seem worth it. I mean, I'd love to hear more from his camp about what's real, because it's clear he's suffering. We just don't know from what. And what mother out there would give her 15-year-old boy over to a grown man who's in the rap industry for a weekend with Diddy camp without other adult supervision?
Months ago, I was really struggling mentally and emotionally, and just there were so many things that were adding up, and I wasn't able to enjoy any of the things that I owned.
That stuff's not going to matter to you.
None of the actual things did anything because I was so hurt and I was so confused and I was so sick, and there was all these things, and I was like, I can't, there's like, you just can't, like you said, you can't enjoy the actual physical, tangible, like, things that money offers, right? Like, it really had to come from within. So that's
Appreciate you getting me.
Rogan said young celebrities are often treated older than they actually are. People forget they're still kids mentally and emotionally. They're expected to handle pressure that most grown adults can't even survive. And when Justin entered the industry, Diddy was already one of the most powerful names in music. He wasn't just famous, he had influence everywhere. Artists respected him, executives feared him, celebrities wanted to be around him. His parties became legendary in Hollywood culture. Being invited into that world was seen as a sign that you had officially made it. But now people are starting to ask what really happened inside those circles. Because over the years, there were always rumors. Stories about wild behavior, stories about manipulation, stories about celebrities acting differently after spending time around certain people. Nothing was ever fully proven publicly, but whispers never disappeared either. And now, with Justin finally admitting how damaged he became during those years, those old clips are being analyzed in a completely different way. Rogan replayed one specific moment that really bothered him. It was the famous video where Diddy talks about spending 48 hours with a teenage Justin Bieber. At the time, audiences laughed because it sounded like celebrity fun, but Rogan paused the clip and said something that completely changed the mood. He said, "Imagine hearing this exact conversation without fame attached to it." And honestly, that's when everything starts feeling strange. Because Justin looks uncomfortable in parts of the clip. He laughs, but it doesn't feel natural. He looks like a kid trying to fit into a world he doesn't fully understand yet. And Diddy controls the entire interaction. Rogan pointed out how powerful adults can sometimes normalize behavior around young stars because nobody wants to challenge them. If a billionaire celebrity says something weird, people laugh instead of questioning it. That's the dangerous part. What nobody expected was Justin himself eventually opening up about how dark things became for him emotionally. Over the years, Justin started speaking more honestly about the pain he carried. He admitted he felt overwhelmed by fame very early. He talked about being exposed to adult situations while still mentally being a child. He confessed that there were times he hated his own life, despite having everything people dream about. And according to Rogan, that should have been a massive warning sign. Because when someone becomes famous that young, they don't really have the power people think they do. Adults make decisions for them. Adults shape their environment. Adults decide who gets access to them. Joe Rogan said the entertainment industry has a history of failing young stars. He brought up how many child celebrities eventually spiral into addiction, depression, or emotional breakdowns, not because they're weak, but because they were never protected properly in the first place. Then he turned directly toward Diddy, and that's where his tone changed completely. Rogan said powerful figures in Hollywood often operate differently because people are afraid to challenge them. He explained how fame creates a shield around certain celebrities. Even when behavior seems questionable, nobody speaks up because careers, money, and connections are on the line. He said that's why so many disturbing situations stay hidden for years. Everyone sees pieces of it, nobody says anything, and eventually silence becomes part of the system itself. That statement hit hard online because many people already feel Hollywood protects influential celebrities until public pressure becomes impossible to ignore. As more clips resurfaced, social media exploded. People started revisiting old interviews where Justin looked exhausted or emotionally disconnected. Others pointed out moments where he seemed uncomfortable during public appearances. Fans began discussing how different he looked during certain years of his career. Some people even admitted they used to mock Justin during his breakdown years without understanding what he might have been dealing with privately. That's another thing Rogan mentioned. He said society loves building celebrities up, but it also enjoys watching them collapse, and young stars become easy targets because they're constantly visible. Every mistake becomes entertainment. Every emotional moment becomes viral content. Meanwhile, the people with real power behind the scenes often escape criticism completely. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Instead of becoming bitter forever, Justin eventually started changing his life. He stepped away from the chaos. He focused more on his mental health, his marriage, and his faith. And over time, fans noticed he became quieter, calmer, and more protective of his personal life. Rogan actually respected that. He said surviving that level of fame while growing up publicly is almost impossible. Most people can't imagine the psychological pressure, cameras everywhere, constant judgment, endless expectations, and at the same time, trying to understand who you even are as a person. Justin was doing all of that before becoming a full adult. And according to Rogan, that's exactly why these conversations matter now more than ever. Because this isn't only about Diddy. It's about the entire culture around celebrity power. It's about how easily people ignore warning signs when fame is involved. It's about how young artists can become vulnerable in environments controlled by older, more powerful figures. As Rogan kept talking, he became more frustrated with the industry itself. He questioned why so many executives, managers, and media personalities stay silent until controversy explodes publicly. He said people often protect their own careers instead of protecting vulnerable individuals. And honestly, that's the part that made the conversation feel bigger than just one celebrity scandal. Because once you start looking back at Hollywood history, there are countless stories that sound painfully similar. Young stars, massive pressure, adults with too much influence, and years later, emotional damage finally becoming visible. Rogan made it clear he wasn't making legal accusations he couldn't prove, but he also said people shouldn't ignore obvious red flags simply because celebrities are involved. According to him, common sense matters, context matters, behavior matters, and Justin's own emotional confessions changed how many people see those old moments forever. Especially because Justin never came across as someone chasing sympathy. In fact, for years, he barely explained anything at all. Most of the time, he just disappeared from public view while rumors spread non-stop around him. Now people understand there may have been far deeper reasons behind that silence. The emotional impact of everything became impossible to ignore once fans started revisiting Justin's past interviews. There were moments where he looked completely drained, moments where he admitted feeling empty despite global fame, moments where he openly said he didn't trust many people around him. That hits differently now, because behind the luxury and celebrity lifestyle was someone who never really got the chance to grow up normally. Justin spent his teenage years under pressure most adults would never survive. Every relationship became public drama. Every mistake became international headlines. Every breakdown became internet entertainment. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, he was still just a young man trying to figure out who he could trust. Joe Rogan said that's what makes these conversations emotional. It's easy to judge celebrities from a distance, but people forget they're human beings first. Fame doesn't magically remove trauma. Money doesn't automatically heal emotional damage. If anything, it sometimes hides it. He also pointed out how difficult it probably was for Justin to speak honestly about any of this. In Hollywood, speaking up can create enemies quickly. Powerful people have powerful connections, and many celebrities stay silent simply because they fear backlash, isolation, or career damage. That's why Rogan said Justin deserves credit for at least being open about his struggles publicly, because a lot of people never do. And maybe that openness is exactly why fans are finally seeing him differently now, not as the reckless teenage pop star the media mocked for years, but as someone who survived an environment that may have been far darker than the public realized at the time. As the conversation started wrapping up, Rogan left viewers with one final thought that stuck with people online. He said society needs to stop automatically defending celebrity culture just because it looks glamorous from the outside. Expensive parties, famous names, and luxury lifestyles can distract people from asking serious questions, and sometimes those unanswered questions matter the most. Because when you really go back and watch those old clips now, when you really listen to Justin Bieber talk about pain, pressure, and losing himself during those years, the entire story feels different. The laughter doesn't sound the same anymore, the jokes don't land the same anymore, and the industry itself suddenly feels a lot darker than people wanted to believe. That's why Joe Rogan went off the way he did, not because of one interview, not because of one viral clip, but because the more people look back at everything surrounding Justin Bieber's rise to fame, the harder it becomes to ignore the uncomfortable feeling that something about it was never right from the beginning. And honestly, that conversation is probably only getting started, and maybe that's the part that hits the hardest out of all of this. For years, people watched Justin Bieber's struggles like they were entertainment. Every breakdown became a headline. Every emotional moment turned into memes, jokes, and viral clips. But now, looking back, a lot of people are starting to realize there may have been much more happening behind the scenes than anyone understood at the time. Joe Rogan's reaction wasn't just about exposing old videos or calling out Diddy. It was about asking bigger questions about the entertainment industry itself, questions about power, influence, and what really happens to young stars when they're thrown into a world controlled by powerful people. Because once someone grows up surrounded by fame, money, and pressure, the emotional damage doesn't just disappear overnight. And what makes this story even more emotional is the fact that Justin is still standing. After all the pressure, the public humiliation, the mental struggles, and the chaos that followed him for years, he's still trying to rebuild his life and find peace. That alone says a lot about the kind of strength it takes to survive Hollywood at such a young age. But now the internet is looking at everything differently. The old clips feel darker, the jokes don't feel funny anymore, and the silence around these situations is becoming harder for people to ignore. So what do you think really happened behind those closed doors? Was Joe Rogan right to call all of this out, or are people reading too much into the situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story.